This is an ancient land. The indigenous people believe that the land was created by the spirits. They made the rivers, the waterholes, the hills and the rocks. The land was made by the ancestors back in the dreamtime. Others believe that nature's agents have faltered, folded and eroded the landscape into its current shape. This story is 350 million years in the making. The West MacDonnell Ranges of the Northern Territory. The West MacDonnell Ranges National Park spans several hundred kilometres of wilderness in Australia's Northern Territory. They run in an almost straight line from east to west on either side of Alice Springs. They are the Northern Territory's most spectacular mountain range series that were first formed around 350 million years ago. Since then, they have continued to change, with faults and weather erosion crafting the numerous gaps, gorges and other natural wonders. The Australian Indigenous people who live in the area believe these mountains were once giant caterpillars. It is estimated that 1 billion years ago, this area around Simpson's Gap was an inland sea. Then approximately 300 million years ago, the mountain building process of faulting and folding raised the land up. The steep red cliffs of Simpson's Gap have been formed over a long process of flooding and water and wind erosion. The iron in the quartzite, as it makes contact with air, colour the rock face red or a rusty colour. Stanley Chasm is a large gap in the tail of the West MacDonnell Ranges. It has been gouged out of rock over millions of years by surging floodwaters, eroding the tough quartzite to form a striking natural alleyway. The remarkable walking trail follows the creek lines and crevices until arriving at a narrow chasm. As the sun's light moves across the chasm's clefts, a mighty display of changing colours and forms ensue. At midday, when the sun is directly overhead, the chasm is illuminated and an array of reflected colours is seen. A reliable trickle of water has preserved the area as a floral and fauna reserve with an abundance of bird life, wallabies and rare plants. Ormiston Gorge is the showcase of the MacDonnell Ranges' spectacular geology and landforms. The rugged features of the gorge are complemented by the near-permanent waterhole. Over millions of years, nature's agents has continued to create the towering red wall of the gorge and the surrounding pound. The water, with the pound's rock shelters, has long attracted a variety of native fauna and flora, with some relic plants remaining since the pound's tropical past. Ormiston Gorge is popular with waters, with a variety of walks along the rocky slopes, the creek lines and the pound's flat floor. The ochre pits are thousands of years old and used by the Australian Indigenous people as a source of their colour pigments for use in their ceremonial decorations and paintings since prehistoric times. The natural ochres found in the rock layers are some of the best ochres found in Australia, having a soft touch, being vivid and slightly sheen to them. The colour ranges from crimson to gold. These ochres is ground and then mixed with either water or fat, usually emu fat, for use. This site is a registered sacred site. Over millions of years, the Ellery Creek has carved the gorge through the West MacDonnell Ranges as it flows towards the Finke River. Continual flooding over time has created the Ellery Creek Big Waterhole, revealing some amazing geological features. Today, nature's agents continue to shape and reshape this area into a spectacular and welcoming waterhole. The cool, deep water is a refreshing relief from the summer heat. Glen Helen Gorge is at the western reach of the West MacDonnell Ranges. Its spectacular landscape of towering sandstone walls has created an important wildlife and fish refuge. Here, the West MacDonnell Range briefly separate to allow the permanent and ancient Finke River to continue on its course towards the Simpson Desert. Glen Helen was a former cattle station, but today it caters for tourists and an inviting waterhole for a swim during the gorge's summer heat. The area's traditional owners believe this is the home of an ancient and powerful rainbow serpent, and therefore is off limits to them. The panoramic landscapes of the West MacDonnell Ranges are extraordinary, both in their sheer size and their spectacular array of sunburnt colours. This is a story 350 million years in the making, and it continues today.